Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here, and as you know, I love to use the term juicy. I'll say juicy this and juicy that, like Isla is so juicy, and a lot of you do agree, but for today's video, things are honestly not that juicy. If you find the battlefield time hard, honestly speaking, things just got way harder, and I'm not just talking about me. Watch as we go in. It is Season 8, it just started today, and I'm going to show you something a lot of you will not like, but in the comments let me know, as we cover this, tell me your thoughts and your general impressions because I do want to know what you think. I'm very curious, but as you can see, we have a very simple build. We have our Plum, our main support weapon for this mode. We have our DKD, which is a damaging weapon for the wind elemental typing, and our usual support units of Hand Semi, because it is the wind typing, so she can benefit here. And watch as we go in very carefully. I'm going to put up the status bar and look all the way to the right. Do you see that 5 stacking debuff? That is not a buff. That's not from any of our weapons or hunters. That is a straight nerf to our damage. I did calculations on it, and it is a 20 to 25% reduction to our overall damage output, which is honestly not ideal. But let me show you how to get rid of that debuff. Watch this very carefully. This will outrage a lot of you, and honestly, I do want to see again your opinions in the comments because this will affect a lot of you. Watch, you're not gonna like this. I'm gonna take off our Plum and swap it for any weapon, doesn't matter. Let's do the longsword for example. We're gonna swap that in and watch as we go back in. I'm gonna put it back on the screen, the status bar up top. Watch, where is the debuff? We just gained back 20 to 25% of our damage, and with the Plum we got nerfed. That is that's a big no-no. That makes the game mode even harder because a lot of you already use the Plum. That is basically not a lot of you. I would say everyone uses the Plum. It is the weapon everyone recommends you summon for, and also it does affect our support units too. Watch this. We have our best insult support. We have Isla, Form Team again. Their artifacts are all standard, nothing crazy here. Blasting stones, everything you see here is all standard. But watch, as we jump in here, you are not going to like this. Watch very carefully. The debuff is, it is back. So, let me explain what's going on, and let me explain how you can avoid it, because if you don't, your times in battlefield time will no longer be good. So I did want to make this PSA, warning everyone, there are changes to Season 8 that you do have to be aware of, and let me cover that with you, that way you know exactly what to do. But first off everyone, if you enjoy the videos, please make sure, if you have a second, for free codes, to go to the link down below and press this button here. All you have to do is support us by pressing this button here. On Netmarble support a program for solving your eyes, I am able to send you a bunch of free codes. You go to your My page up top, a few hours after supporting, you do have to wait. I send each and every code manually one by one, but as you can see, my name comes up once you press that button. If it does, then that means you are not supporting us, but if we keep going down, you can see you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 codes sent to you, and this is all for free. So make sure, if you haven't yet, to go to the link down below and support us. That way, I can send you all those juicy benefits. And I should say, if you're a supporter, make sure, join our Discord server. We have $100 giveaways for you. We have 2 right now for $200, so make sure, if you want to enter some giveaway fun, you can join our Discord server. If you're a supporter, send your proof here and then you're done. You can enter the giveaways, that way you can win $100 dues. And of course, speaking of win, a big congrats to Vova from the first comment to our last video. Here is your shout out and enjoy that juicy exclusive Discord role. Now going back to what I was talking about, here are the balance adjustments, or you can call them the nerfs, going into Battlefield Time Season 8. The balance has been adjusted for Battlefield Time Season 8 as of today, so be ready. The monster's attack has dropped, which doesn't matter, but the HP has increased already. Things are getting harder. We do get that buff though after 80 seconds of battle, which is fine. It does help out free-to-play players, but it doesn't matter too much because everyone gets it, so it doesn't really influence your run. Everyone does have the same buff, but watch this. We do actually get a real buff when it comes to the weakness and attribute type in the Battlefield Time. It is going from 1 to 2 types, which is honestly a nice benefit. That means if you saw the Shaman, we have water and wind now. Before it was just wind, but now it is 2 typing, so that's that should help us out, right? It's not like they added any other debuffs, right? Nope, they did. Watch this. When equipping a weapon or deploying a hunter with the boss's designated attribute, a combat power penalty will be applied for 2 minutes. Oh no. And if we go back to the shaman, watch very carefully, he does now have 2 recommended elements when it comes to water and wind, but when it comes to the weapons we use, we have Grimoire, we have DKD, we have the Longsword, and we have Westwind, but no longer can we use the Plum, even Moon Shadow, no. And when it comes to our support units, we can't use the best support we have. Isla, I'm so sorry, you give us a debuff so we can no longer use you. And even hunters like Choi and Gina, they cannot be used, including our fire weapons. So, fire and dark, you cannot use any of these weapons, any of these hunters, unless you want a 20% debuff, and I'll show you. The debuff is crazy, and yeah, that's disappointing. I want to see your opinions in the comments. Are you a fan of this? Because right now, this made it even harder. If you're a free player, if you're a light spender, if you're a new player, you can't use all your resources anymore. You have to just even more, not just focus on advancements, but you have to focus on the typing too, making sure there isn't a mismatch. I kind of wish it was a minor debuff, like right now it's 5 stacks. What about if they made it, let's say, every hunter or weapon gave you a stack, maybe weapons are 2 stacks, hunters are 1 stack. So right now, we start off at 5 and it just stays at 5. That's not good. That's a 20% reduction, but let me just jump in and show you. But again, in the comments, let me know. Very curious what your thoughts are. Let's do the west one here. Very important. We're going to equip it, and I'm going to take off all our hunters. Watch this. Take off all these hunters here. And I'm going to equip a very general weapon that does not give us any buff. So we have the quarterstaff, which is very good. It actually probably is used for this game mode too. It's such a strong weapon, but watch very carefully. We're going to jump into Westwind, and I'm not going to do anything else but attack the boss, the second phase. So let me jump in, and I'll show you the boss, and I'll show you the damage we do. We dealt how much damage? Okay, the boss is at 81% HP. This damage is consistent. I did it a million times. It will always be 81%, unless I crit, of course, which will be different. But remember, 81% is where we left off the boss. Let me show you one more time. A lot of people doubt me, say, well, your damage fluctuates. No, it is very consistent, but I'll jump back in. Let me show you one more round. All right, the boss is back up. Watch very carefully. We're going to dodge here. Use our Westwind after shadow stepping. Watch very carefully. Look at the HP, and again, we have around 81%, so 80.72. We always land at that mark, but watch this. Very carefully, we're going to exit out, and I'm going to equip a random weapon here. Let's do something that doesn't give us buffs when it comes to wind, for example. Let's do Zeke's. That is a dark weapon that will give us a debuff, and there's no effects here that will boost our damage, I'm assuming. Let me see, Zeke's damage, yep. Nothing crazy here. Dark damage, cooldown, yep. We should be good. Let's equip it and jump back in. Alright, so here's a boss. Watch very carefully. Dodge here, shadow step, and use Westwind. Watch. Watch the damage here. It should be much lower, and 87%. That's a big yikes. With that debuff, like I said, it is a major reduction. That's almost half the damage, honestly speaking. That's actually more than 20%. That is a huge amount. Let's do it again. And here's the boss spawning in. Watch very carefully. Dodge here, shadow step. Apply that, walk back a little bit, and watch the HP bar, and 87%. So it's a difference between 13% damage dealt and 19% damage dealt, which is actually a 46% reduction. That is huge. That is a major nerf, and honestly speaking, you cannot be using any dark or fire elemental types with this mode. It is just not ideal. It'll ruin your run, so please make sure this is a PSA that for the battlefield time, you have to avoid these elements here. Otherwise, your damage will lack. But I do want to see in the comments all your opinions. Do you agree with this change, or is it too much? Is this even more for pay-to-win mode now? And if you're a whale or someone who does compete in this mode, are you a fan of this change? I'm curious. I do want to see everyone's side on this, because for me, I do love the battlefield time. But this time around, I'm not sure. I love it, but I do want everyone to participate. I mean, of course, whales should have a natural advantage. It's just the nature of gacha games. But now we're treading into very whaley waters. These are whale-infested waters, me included, okay? I'm a whale, I'm not excluded here. I do it for content, of course, but I do want the game to be fair to an extent. And I'm not sure if Season 8 is a season where people are gonna be happy. It's not the holidays where everyone's happy. It is season 8, and season 8 is the hardest Battlefield time season we've had in a very long time, where we cannot use one of our best weapons and hunters. I don't know what to think here, chat. I'm kind of at a stalemate when it comes to my thoughts. I like the competitiveness, but not to the point where people can no longer play properly. This is a huge nerf, but thankfully, they did add one more element, so we can technically use, our favorite water weapon, the surfboard. No, that's not a good weapon here. The Marlin surfboard, no. How about Scatty? No. You know what? We can probably use Kasaka's Venom Fang, maybe. I'll try it out. That could be an option. Water being added in could be a good thing for free-to-play, but seriously, yeah, that's not it. Not a big fan of this change. It made things harder. It made making guides even harder too. As you know, I like to jump in, and I noticed something was wrong when I went in there. I noticed that debuff right away. My damage was not operating right when I had plum equipped, and yeah, we'll see. So in the comments again, let me know. Very curious what your thoughts are. The devs, you watch these videos, so your opinions actually do matter. They look at them and they can adjust the future seasons. But on that note, that's basically it for today. Just want to make this major PSA that we understand what BOT is like now for Season 8, how it's adjusted. But yeah, make sure you subscribe though and drop your like if you enjoyed. Don't dislike if you don't like the changes. It's not my fault. I would revert them if I could. And do support us too if you could. That being on their mobile support program, of course. That way, I can send you a bunch of juicy free codes sent directly to your My page a few hours after sporting. But on that note, this is your Code King Zaf, signing out.